Hello Aquarius, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements looking at your connection between you and the person that you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. We will be pulling for all three sides of the connection. So we've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we'll be looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section is looking at what is the deeper purpose of this connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate for everyone, and they won't resonate for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation if there is anything, and leave what does not. On that note, the whole reading can be reversed, especially if you're a cross-watcher. Just know that's totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point is to take what helps and leave what doesn't. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Aquarius, we're going to start with pulling overall energy for your side, their side, and then in between the connection with oracle cards, and then we'll dive deeper into the story with tarot. So let's start, Aquarius, with your side of this connection to the person you are dealing with. Aquarius' side of this connection, please. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wow. Okay. You have manipulation with shattered. You have dead end with solitude. The shattered card often represents an illusion that's been shattered. I feel like in this connection, it feels like you had a certain perception of this person, of who they were, what this connection was like, what it felt like. But with this manipulation card, I feel like your intuition kind of was telling you that there is something off, or your intuition was kind of guiding you in the direction of, maybe there were times where you felt insecure. There were times where you were like second guessing what they were saying. Like, it just feels like there was just kind of this energy of your intuition being really skeptical in this connection. But there was this part of you that saw them as a certain person. But I feel like with this dead end card, something happened in this connection, because the dead end card kind of gives me tower energy. It's like this full stop, like tower kind of paired with chariot in reverse, like this full stop, just like something happened that kind of shatters this illusion, that kind of brings this truth of who somebody is, or like what their true intentions are, whatever, to the surface. Because with this solitude card, I feel like you were kind of left on your own in this connection. I don't know if there was like abandonment or betrayal or what really went down, but I feel like there was something about, like, just kind of recap, you had this certain perception of this person, but your intuition was telling you that there's something off, but then something happened that brought some sort of truth to the surface. It's almost like your intuition ended up being right, but not in necessarily the best way. So let's unpack this, because this is obviously coming through for a reason, right? So let's see what's going on with their side here. This person's energy toward Aquarius. Mirroring with wild card. Okay. The mirroring in this connection already kind of feels intense, because, a lot of times what mirroring in connections really looks like is somebody kind of mirroring back deeper wounds, deeper, traumas, things that It's like painful situations that you've experienced before, just like in a whole new form. And it doesn't mean that that's the only thing they mirror back. They can also mirror back good things too, which is oftentimes why they can feel kind of like a roller coaster ride whenever you're dealing with a highly mirrored connection. But this wild card energy makes me feel like this person's energy is very unpredictable. It feels like there's this energy of this person kind of being in maybe an unstable place in their life too, in some way, that causes them to be very, it's like, yeah, wild card energy, right? Like you're like, I don't know what to expect. Now the mirroring, this feels like this guide in this specific reading to showing you that there is kind of a deeper purpose to this. Because mirrored connections always hold, I mean, all of our connections can be a mirror of our relationship with ourselves, but sometimes we do come across people in our life that just like mirror us back or mirror deeper wounds or deeper traumas back to us, like in an incredibly intense way. Which typically those people really provide us with some sort of opportunity to heal. Truth of the connection between Aquarius and this person. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Sparks with trapped. Is there anything else? I feel like I need to pull one more card for some reason. I don't know why. Sparks with trapped. Growth. Okay, so there it is. Growth kind of being the purpose here. Okay, so with the Sparks card, it's obvious that there was intimacy in this connection, that like this was deep. I'm saying was because I do feel like it was past. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but I feel like it maybe got deep really fast. You know how like a spark can start a fire and sometimes it can happen like, yeah, I feel like it happened really fast. It got deep really fast. And it almost feels like there is this 0 to 100 energy here. And then, because I feel like you had a certain view of who this person was and you like head first, full into this connection. And then things started to kind of happen, or specifically something happened, but then there's this energy of feeling trapped. Almost trapped in the way that, like in the hope of trying to get back to the way that things were in the beginning. Before the spark became the fire, or like before the spark became the, like led to like some sort of fallout or some sort of situation. So the purpose of this is to push you into growth in a way that probably seems a little bit unfair, because I do feel like this has been a fairly painful experience for you, Aquarius. But I also feel like it's to help you attract, ultimately, the love that you are looking for. So you can still have that, for sure. Overall theme of this reading for Aquarius, please. Whoa. Trust the universe. Lessons are being taught. Huh. So trust this is happening for a reason. Is there anything else? Whoa. This inconsistencies with you don't think of me. I feel like you feel a little bit disregarded or even discarded in this situation. It's almost like you feel like you don't matter to this person at all, or specifically not as much as you had thought. I feel like there's way more going on here. I feel like, it's interesting because I was looking at these cards before we pulled these middle cards, and all of these two, like taking these out, very kind of black and white energy, right? And I was like, it's interesting that the energy is coming out as black and white, because I get this feeling that, there's a little bit of blue in this one, but I get this feeling that it's not as black and white as it might seem. So the main energy, overall theme is trust the universe. There are lessons being taught here, because remember, the purpose is growth. And that growth, anytime we grow from any experience, as long as we are willing to take the path of growth, which is definitely not the easy path, but ends up making our life easier later, our life will improve. Because if we learn a certain lesson from an experience, we won't need to repeat that experience. So what that also means is we will often repeat experiences until we learn from them, whatever it is that we're needing to learn. But you have this trust the universe card. So the universe is saying, trust that this is happening for a reason, and for a good reason at that, for you to ultimately be able to receive the love that you deserve. So let's see. Aquarius' side of this connection. To the person they are dealing with here. Ooh. Queen of Pentacles in reverse with the Nine of Swords. The Queen of Cups. I feel like this is an energy that you're dealing with. You could have been dealing with a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but then you also do have this earth sign, Queen of Pentacles here, which is Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus energy, but this could be, I feel like this is more your energy, like a specific message in association with your energy, which we'll get to in a second. This feels like the person that you were dealing with. It's almost like, because there's the Two of Swords and there's the Moon. It's almost like this person very quickly became like your whole world in this connection. And not in the sense of like in a weird way, but like I feel like you became so wrapped up in this connection. And again, it feels like it happened really, really fast here. Nine of Pentacles, and you have the Six of Cups in reverse with the Hermit in reverse on the bottom. So this Queen of Pentacles in reverse energy represents that I feel like there was a lack of like security in this connection from the beginning. It almost feels like you were constantly craving more from this person, whether it was like emotional validation or vulnerability. And I feel like you kind of had, you looked past it, which I think that we do sometimes look past a lot in the beginning of connection because we're still kind of figuring things out. But I feel like the problem arises in the fact that it got really deep really fast. And then I feel like it's like it was so fast that I feel like there's almost this just like, so I just hit that. Yeah, like shaking, I guess. This like, whoa, like what happened? Because I feel like it was like, and it doesn't mean that this connection didn't last for a few years or anything like that. Like it definitely could have, but it feels like your head was spinning almost in this. And I think like with this Nine of Swords, there's like this anxiety associated with what, like with this person, like what are they gonna do? Or it's like you never fully trusted them. And I feel like that's what this is talking about when it comes to like your intuition was onto something, because I feel like you saw them as a certain person. But then it's like but yet you felt this sense of unease. Maybe it appeared in the form of like butterflies or like anxiety in some way, but it almost feels like there was not this settle, this calmness or security in this connection. In fact, I feel like as things evolved, that only got worse. The anxiety associated with it. And I feel like then, I don't know what happened here, but I feel like something happened that kind of like, I don't know if it was like true colors came out, or you saw who this person really was, or like you were like, I knew something was up. Like, I don't necessarily know what happened. But I do feel like for a while, it's like all of your decisions that you made in your life, you made for this person. And I don't mean that in the sense that like you weren't taking you into account at all, but I do feel like this person was like a huge priority in your life. It's like everything you did for them. But then I don't necessarily know, like I said, what happened, but something shattered this idea or this illusion of what, like where you thought this was headed. Or maybe you were like, oh, I did all this for you, but you never really felt the same way. And I'm not saying they didn't, but it's like something happened that really brought you to this just like sense of, like I knew something was off. That's the best way I can put it. I feel like this person checked a lot of your boxes right off the bat, which is why I feel like you kind of dove headfirst into this, as I feel like you were like, on paper, this connection looked really good, so you were like, let's go for it. Like, I've been waiting for you. But again, it's like, yeah, your intuition was off. It was like, something's going on. And it was almost speaking to you through the form of anxiety. And I will say, like, our body knows whether, like, our body knows well before we do whether or not someone's right for us, or like whether or not we kind of need to have our guard up. But again, I feel like you looked past a lot of that because things were so good and exciting in the beginning. So I don't necessarily know what went down, but I definitely feel like it was kind of like out of the blue, or very much like rug ripped out from underneath you kind of energy. And I want you to know that I feel like, and why I feel like you have this trust the universe card, is Spirit is trying to let you know through this that this probably has been very difficult, but you are still very capable of having the love that you deserve and desire. Despite your age or the things that, like how this has affected you, like you are still very capable of having that love. But let's see, this person's energy toward Aquarius, wild card with mirroring. But again, it's like they mirrored back. That's why your intuition went off. Okay, hang on. Okay, this person's energy toward Aquarius. I get where this is going. At least I think. Let me see. The Tower in reverse. No, the Tower. So is it upright or is it in reverse? It's upright. Okay. Was this their decision? This person's energy toward Aquarius. Five. It's not telling me. Oh, I get why. Because it's about the purpose of this. The purpose of this is the point of this reading. Yeah, because there's the Four of Cups. So it's not necessarily telling me like their specific feelings toward this, but it's almost like Spirit is saying that that doesn't really matter, because the purpose of this connection has nothing to do with them, but their energy in, Ace of Swords with the Justice in reverse, because they're not in an energy of taking accountability for what they've done here. But here's what I feel is they did something that led to the Tower. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was betrayal. I don't know if it was abandonment. I don't know if it was just straight up like out of the blue ghosting, like whatever it is. I feel like they did something here. And this, whatever they did mirrored back at you some sort of deeper wounding. So like if you had an abandonment wound prior to this, like there was abandonment here. If you had a betrayal wound prior to this, there was a betrayal here. Infidelity wound, there was infidelity, like whatever it was. Like I feel like this person really mirrored something you had experienced in the past. That's why your intuition really went off here, because your intuition was like, we've been here before. It's almost like there was this subtle recognition below the surface. But it's almost like you didn't recognize it. You didn't recognize it at first. Because whatever this person did, it seemed very out of the blue for the connection. But it's almost like there were things about this person that you recognized subconsciously before certain things happened. Now, I feel like with this, the Three of Wands in reverse, Four of Cups, is I feel like with this, what Spirit is saying through this reading is like focusing on why they did what they did isn't the point of this. Because first of all, when people do certain things to us in relationships, a lot of times where they're coming from, the decisions that they make are more about their relationship with themselves than has anything to do with us, right? We can't take other people's actions personally because it very rarely has anything to do with us. That doesn't mean that it's not painful, and that doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. I just said the same thing. That doesn't mean that our feelings aren't valid, is essentially what I'm trying to get at. But what it does mean is that over-analyzing or trying to understand why somebody did something keeps us from our healing and keeps us from understanding how, first and foremost, we can heal and move forward so we can have the love that we deserve and desire. But second of all, figure out how what it is this is trying to teach us so that we never get ourselves back into this situation, especially, Aquarius, if you've been in a situation like this before. So, for instance, if it's like, oh, everyone always cheats because you've experienced like two people cheating on you, or everyone always leaves because you've experienced two people leaving you. That is not what you are destined for, okay? You are not destined to repeat this pattern. There is something this is trying to teach you, and in a way that this is trying to help you heal so that you no longer experience this. Because remember, our souls are here to learn and grow, and one of the number one ways that we do that is through our relationships. Our relationships force us to face things about ourselves and force us into healing that we might not do otherwise. And I feel like specifically with this connection, why this person did what they did had nothing to do with you, especially with the Three of Wands in reverse. I feel like we could go into like the connection got deep really fast. They got spooked maybe even because they didn't know how to handle that. I mean, either way with the Justice in reverse, they're not taking accountability for their actions. But that's irritating and that's frustrating, but that's their thing, right? That's their path. They are going to, karma is a very real thing, and they're going to experience whatever this is leading them to experience. But what this reading is really trying to do is get you to redirect your focus back to what the purpose of this is for you and what this is trying to teach you. And I feel like specifically there was some wound that wasn't fully healed that caused you to allow your decisions in this connection to lead with your wounding, which ultimately repeated that wound. Now, I'm not saying this is your fault, okay? As humans, we always lead with our wounding before we heal. And then we start to lead with our healing. But it takes getting wounded to learn from those wounds, right? So I'm not saying you did anything wrong, and I am not saying like it is your fault that this happened, okay? I am not taking accountability away from this person. But the only way that we ever heal in our relationships is when we are willing to look at the role that we play in our own suffering so that we don't get ourselves back into those same situations, right? And I feel like that's what the universe is really asking you, what Spirit is really asking you to do, specifically with this connection, is to look at things from not necessarily this perspective of what this person did or why they did what they did, but more so from the perspective of and what this is trying to teach you. Because it kind of feels like this, how things played out in this connection, they were always going to play out like this. And again, I feel like your intuition was onto something really early, but it's like there were so many feelings and things happened so fast that it's almost like your intuition was really overpowered by a lot of other things going on. So there is a purpose to this. And I think that it can get really, really disheartening when we go through relationships and those relationships fail or we get hurt in some way, because we're going to start to go, why would I ever want to get into another relationship and this is all that is going to happen? But the cool thing is when we realize that if we heal, learn, and grow from the experiences that we have, we won't repeat those experiences. So there's something here that's needing to be addressed, and it's a general reading, so I can't tell you exactly what that is. Maybe meditating on it can help, or journaling about it can help. But I feel like there's deeper wounding that is drawing you, that this is drawing you into healing. Remember when I pulled these two cards and I was like, I pulled Trapped in Sparks and I was like, I feel like I need to pull one more card for some reason. I pulled Growth. And then you have Trust the Universe with Lessons Are Being Taught. Like, I feel like Spirit is really trying to get you to see that if you're willing to learn from this in some way, to heal what this is opening you up to heal, that the love that you deserve is on the other side of that. It's on the other side of that healing. Now, if you take the route of not choosing healing and not choosing growth, then you might end up back in the same place, right? And that often happens to us. We'll experience the exact same relationship over and over again, whether with the same person or different people. But it's not because all people are like that. It's because we keep attracting a certain person because of some sort of lesson that needs to be learned or some sort of healing that needs to be done. I experienced this in my life for a really long time. It was like I dated a bunch of people, but it was like all these relationships played out and almost ended the exact same way. And for a long time, I was like, oh, this is just how relationships go. But then the universe really directed me to kind of some deeper healing that these things were trying to guide me toward. And then my relationships completely shifted. And then eventually I met my husband. So I feel like this is more of like an encouraging reading, instead of just saying like, don't allow yourself to get so down by this to the extent that you feel that you're never going to be able to experience the love that you deserve and desire, because you absolutely still can. It is still possible. So we're going to hop on over to the extended. We're going to look at the deeper purpose of this, which I feel like we kind of started to skim the surface of. And the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self, any information for that is in the description box below. Before I hop on over to the extended, I do want to reiterate that I am hosting a workshop on January 3rd at 6 p.m. Central Time. It's going to be on a Friday. This workshop is all about reclaiming your power to manifest the life that you desire. Trying to kick off the new year with kind of some good tools, a good mindset to help you, really make some changes in 2025. If you can't make the live workshop, but you still want to be a part of it, if you purchase a ticket, everyone who does will receive a recording to it the next day. So you don't have to, if you purchase a ticket, that doesn't mean that you have to be live. You can opt for just receiving the recording. The only thing you will miss out on is I will be doing a 20 to 30 minute Q&A session at the very end that obviously you won't be able to partake in if you receive the recording. You'll still get the recording of it, but you won't be there to ask questions. Any information for that is going to be in the description box below the links to the extended. That will take you to another video on my channel, and in that description box is all of the information that you need. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment or shoot me an email. That email address is always in the description box as well. All right, Aquarius, thank you so much as always for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. Bye, Aquarius.